If I could describe my journey in one word, it would be evolving. When I was younger, my world was made of fairy tales and fantasy. Castles, magic, heroes, hidden kingdoms. I used to believe that every book was a doorway. The moment I opened one, I wasn't just sitting in my room anymore. I was somewhere else entirely. In a forest with talking animals, in a kingdom ruled by bravery, in a world where anything felt possible. Fairy tales and fantasy books weren't just stories to me. They were comfort, they were escape, they were wonder. I think that's where my imagination really grew. Those stories taught me to dream bigger than what I could see around me. But then, I stepped into elementary school, and reading started to feel different. Instead of choosing magical adventures, I was immersed in books assigned by school, stories chosen for lessons, projects, and tests. They weren't bad books, they were meaningful in their own way, but something shifted. Reading slowly became something I had to do, not something I wanted to do. And without even realizing it, my love for reading started to fade. The excitement I once felt when I opened a book became quieter, smaller. It wasn't that I stopped reading completely, but the magic wasn't the same. When I entered high school, my relationship with reading transformed. It didn't come back the way it used to, with fairy tales and fantasy worlds. Instead, it reappeared quietly through ebooks and poems on an app. Stories lived on a screen now, glowing softly in the dark while I scrolled through chapters and verses. I found myself drawn to poems especially. Short, honest pieces about growing up, confusion, love, pressure, and self-discovery. They felt real. Sometimes it was just a few lines, but they hit deeper than whole chapters ever did. It felt like someone out there understood exactly what I couldn't explain. The present self is into books about growth, mindset, discipline, confidence, becoming better, and it felt different, but in a good way. Instead of escaping into another world, I was learning how to improve my own. Instead of reading about fictional heroes, I was learning how to become stronger myself. These development books reminded me of something important. Growth doesn't always look magical, but it is powerful. Looking back, I realized every stage of my reading life reflects who I was at that time. The fantasy phase showed my imagination and innocence. The school book phase reflected structure and responsibility. And now, self-development reflects awareness and growth. Maybe my love for reading didn't disappear. Maybe it just changed form. Today, when I pick up a book, it feels intentional. It feels like I'm investing in myself. I'm not just reading for entertainment. I'm reading to understand, to grow, to build my future. And that feels powerful. The more I read, I noticed that I could explain myself more clearly. I wasn't just memorizing lessons anymore. I was understanding them. But beyond academics, reading helped me emotionally. When I performed in front of the class, whether it was a speech, a role play, or reciting a poem, I wasn't just saying words, I felt them, because reading had taught me how emotions live between the lines. It showed me how to connect with an audience, how to pause, how to let a moment breathe. Reading gave me confidence, it gave me empathy, it gave me a voice. In many ways, it helped me grow, not just as a student, but as a person. My journey with books hasn't been a straight line. It's been a circle, starting with wonder, drifting away, and then finding its way back with purpose. And honestly, I think that's what makes this trip down memory lane so meaningful, because the story isn't just about the books. It's about how I've changed. And just like any good book, I'm still writing my next page.